It is now a few weeks after the event, and I can say I had an absolute blast. Introducing this character was a lot of fun. But now that I've worn this costume for a full weekend, I can also tell what does and what doesn't work. And that's generally a really good idea, to just have a gloss over your costume and think about all the ideas you had before the event, and do they actually work in real life when you're wearing the garment? For example, the cape. It is an absolute fun idea, and I love the way that it looks to make the costume a whole, but it is too long. If I step back, I actually step on the cape. And the fabric, because it is a loosely knitted fabric, it actually gets stuck in branches and everything. I don't think I'm going to scrap the cape, because I just love the way it looks. But I'm definitely going to make it a tad bit shorter, probably somewhere around the knees instead of fully to the ground. Something I only found out during combat is because I have the weird situation going on being left-handed with my bow, but being right-handed with everything else. I've got my bow in my right hand. When someone comes up really close, I can't shoot them because that's rules of the event. You can't shoot someone if they get too close. Or if I'm out of arrows, I should grab my dagger. However, I would normally also wield that with right, so I always wield my dagger or my sword at my left hip so I can easily grab it. But in this case, for this costume, I have to go full left-handed. So halfway the event, I switched my dagger from my left hip to my right hip. It's small things, but the next time I put on this costume, I have to keep it in mind that for this costume I am practically left-handed. Aside from that, a more general thing, last event was really cold. It was slightly colder than we had anticipated, as in it was freezing at night. We do tend to get that here around February, March. But yeah, -4 and actually some wind made it really cold. Even my tunic couldn't really hold up to that, and I'm super happy that I brought some fingerless gloves. If it's going to be that cold again next time, I might have to wear even warmer underlayers, even though I already wore thermals underneath. Then an unexpected change I made for this costume is I accidentally upgraded the poundage of my bow. Because during the event, my bow snapped. I don't know what happened exactly, but it seems that the glue that held these two different pieces of wood together just gave up and snapped. So on one side, this piece completely came loose from the rest of the bow. So I called up the store that I bought my bow at, and with the amazing service that they had, they said, well, I don't have the exact bow in stock anymore, but if you don't mind going 5 pounds heavier, I can order it for you and you'll have it at home next Tuesday. So I accidentally upgraded my bow 5 pounds heavier. I originally bought my first bow for normal archery, and there I can only pull 20 pounds. But with Larp you don't pull that many arrows after one another. And because of the way that Larp arrows are built, they are a lot heavier than regular arrows. So having a 5 pound upgrade actually doesn't matter that much, because well, you don't shoot as many after one another as you would do with normal archery. So, yeah, that's an unexpected cool upgrade. Another unexpected thing for the archery is because last minute, as a nice detail, I wanted to pack fingerless gloves. I realized I don't necessarily need the archery tab as long as I'm wearing the fingerless gloves, or at least half finger gloves. Because with that, those half fingers are enough to pull the string and not hurt my fingers. So that's kind of a nice thing. But that's pretty much it for the I figured this out as I wore the costume things. It's just small things, but they are going to need slight changes that will make it even more comfortable to wear. The next event for this costume is in September, which for us is still summer, so I'll basically have to make a second version of this costume for the summer. Aside from that, I also want to take up some stuff for crafting. During downtime, I think with this character I'm just going to pick up some casual leatherworks to do at the event. But that does mean I do want to make an in-game bag to hold all my supplies. But once we'll get there, again, I'll show you guys. And that's pretty much it for my thoughts on this costume after wearing it for an event. And here you can already see that making small changes to a costume after every event will, well, make the costume feel more alive because it's actively changing. And that's pretty much how I decide to make these small changes. Oh, I can use that, or oh, this might work better. And I think I've rambled on long enough on my how to adapt a costume after an event. Yeah, once we'll make more changes, I'll show it to you guys. So, see you then.